you've just come from some pretty meaty investment conversations. What is the one big theme that the investors are talking about here at Milken?
I think the one big theme here is, I mean, obviously, if it's a regional, where are we going to get regional flows back into the local MENA region? Obviously, there's a lot of guests from Saudi we've seen, and we've been talking to them about investment into Saudi, investment into the UAE. So actually today we're looking at both investing back into the UK and also quite strongly regionally as well.
Okay, let's just take this apart a little bit. I want to do first of all with sentiment, because there's obviously the Khashoggi affair, which we've covered extensively. Has the investment appetite waned as a result of the Khashoggi affair? Are people trepidatious in that regard?
Of course, people are trepidatious, but I think that there is still a huge willingness to invest into Saudi. It's a very important issue globally. Infrastructure. Saudi is a very young population. 70% of its population are all under 30. A lot of millennials who care about what goes on in their country. And they're very excited. We're talking about affordable housing. We're talking about that into the UK, and we're looking at even investing into Saudi as well on housing, and that's something that a few years ago we would not even contemplate. And obviously, as times have shifted and economies are moving away from the reliance on oil and gas, we're seeing much more inward flows regionally.
So it's interesting, we saw Investcorp and Standard Chartered announce a new fund for the region, and they're interested specifically in Saudi. I want to tie it down in terms of where the appetite is. You talk about affordable housing. What are the other main industries that you think that are going to attract capital into the region?
Mining, we like mining at the moment a lot, but I mean at the one end of the scale we're looking at going into mines, high producing mines, we're looking at gold, different commodities, we're looking at, and that's very strong regionally, that's there are a lot of many opportunities locally here. We're looking at hotels regionally, very interested in the hotel sector here. In the UAE we've had booming hotels, they're well managed, well run, well built, which is important.
Can I ask you, I mean, we like dollars, we like a figure, so are we talking about hundreds of millions of dollars coming into the UAE and Saudi, or are we talking about in the billion sphere?
Well, depend. I mean, I would imagine housing in Saudi is going to be many billions rather than many hundreds of millions. But also Saudi has got a great mining, industry, and there's we stay away from the tech businesses. There are plenty of other people regionally who are exceptionally good at investing in tech.
Can I ask you, you also mentioned the flip side, which is taking money from the Gulf back home to the UK. We know that you're a deal maker extraordinaire. That's a whole other topic, which is Barclays. But are you seeing opportunities? Are people now talking to you saying, right, Amanda, what can I do in the UK, even in a hard Brexit scenario? Has that been part of the conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been wondering where the Brexit question is paramount in everybody's minds. I think there will be. I don't think there'll be a hard Brexit. I think there will be a Brexit. I think people are coming to realise that there's going to be a Brexit. I think we figured there was a couple, 18 months ago, or at least, we started preparing for that.
Right.
We're supportive of the UK. I mean, I've lived in the UAE a long time. I'm resident in both London and here. So I'm a big passionate supporter of both economies.
And are people talking, what scale of investment are people? Are they hungry for the UK because of the currency softness, or where are the biggest opportunities? Is the currency softness, and where are the opportunities?
Volatility is an opportunity at the moment because the currency softness allows, for us, we're a dollar investor. So currency softness is, it's not as good as it was even a few weeks ago, but that, we'll see the pound strengthen. And I think the pound dollar will stay, won't move marginally from where it is unless there was a very hard Brexit. But we are finding it's a big opportunity for us to invest in the UK because obviously our dollar buys a lot more.
Who's the most interested? The sovereign? I know you can't tell me who specifically, but is it the sovereign wealth funds that are interested in taking money into the UK?
Both private and sovereign wealth funds. The sovereign wealth funds regionally are very strong. I mean, they're full of incredibly exciting people that really technically are very, very good. So whether they're investing in credit, special sits, the UK has a lot of opportunities for all the sovereign wealth funds here. But, you know, the world has changed quite dramatically. 10 years ago, it was mostly the sovereign wealth funds, and it was maybe one or two. Now, there's a plethora of sovereign wealth funds coming in.
Can I close off with one last issue, which is the rebirth of Saudi Arabia under Mohammed bin Salman is all about foreign direct investment.
Yeah.
They've not achieved it, Amanda. They've not achieved what they need to do. You are a global investor that can look from above. What do they need to do?
Transparency. They're good at doing their bond program. I mean,
well, we've seen that. There's an appetite for the bonds. What else?
But that's critical, because if you don't get the bond program right, you won't, in fact, actually be able to attract inward investment. Because people need to understand that the ministers are being transparent. Their 10b5 opinions are well written, well resourced, and the material. And that's important because it's an indication of what Saudi Arabia as a country will do for foreign investors. So actually, we've been pleased with that. It's a great country, you know. And it should be supported.